Here we have one of the most annoying pieces of shit amongst a termite hive. And when visiting the rough terrains of an unfamiliar planet, it's best to understand its inhabitants and their capabilities. None more so commanding such respect than chargers, also known as motherfuckers, who hate freedom and are notorious in nature to maul any freshly graduated helldivers who wander too close to their territories. Chargers tend to hone in on one member of the team at a time, typically the weak noob of the team, who's too often separating themselves from their party in hopes of collecting samples and ignoring any warning signs that a charger has become alerted to their presence. The charger does not take kindly to this and begins their assault, running at their target with the vigorous enthusiasm of a fat kid to their chocolate birthday cake. The lowly recruit helldiver never had a chance. If encountering a charger, it's best you attack the two front legs of the creature. A rail cannon has the most field research against the creature, and if you remove user error from the equation, has a 100% success rate to ensure you don't become a noob patty like your dog shit-fallen comrade. Of course, while chargers are a mighty adversary, they pale in comparison furiousness and cocksuckery that is the stalker. This apex predator of the Terminid hive might appear similar to its anthropoidal brethren, but to treat it as such would prove to be a fatal error. For what it lacks in size and armor, it makes up for in speed, agility, and fucking bullshit. But that's not the only trick these sons of bitches have up their sleeve. They also have the ability to turn completely invisible, transforming any normal desperate attempts for escape into a full-blown horror scene, leaving you screaming like a little girl. It takes a keen eye to spot them lurking in the distance, circling and waiting for the chance to strike. Should they get the jump on you, it's likely your party will be hailing for a reinforcement shortly after, you noob piece of shit. However, should you possess the skill necessary for spotting stalkers, it's recommended you kill that shit with fire, with their weak spot being their cockholsting face. Tag a friend who can't fight off a stalker for shit. However, while stalkers play a more tactical role on the battlefield, this next breed of fucking bullshit prefers a more direct approach and is not one to be taken lightly. Insidious in design, the brood commander is very distinct amongst the Terminid hive, standing considerably taller than its warrior breed counterparts, and possesses the ability to utilize a mixture of pheromone-like spores and authoritarian shrieks to command its brethren in coordinated attacks, Eiffel-towering you and your squad brutally and without prejudice. But brood commanders are more than just puppeteers and are just as lethal as they are resourceful, armed with razor-sharp appendages that can slice through any helldiver like a hot knife through butter, and a charging attack more deadly than a night out at a tequila bar. This bitch straight up hates liberty as much as God hates sin. Additionally, a fight with a brood commander is seldom ever a one-on-one situation, because this goddamn fucker will summon swarms of warrior and scavenger terminids to fight by their side, which could quickly overtake any green-horned helldiver, sending them Prime Day shipping to Jesus's front doorstep. If encountering a brood commander, just empty the mag, ensuring to dump every liberation seed you have until it's dead. Tag a friend you've seen get plowed by a brood commander. Although, while brood commanders and its previously mentioned brethren are enemies you would want to keep at a distance, one Terminid piece of shit wishes a motherfucker would. Because lying in wait of every alien planet is a unique menace you don't want to underestimate. Deceiving in its appearance, the bile spewer might not seem very lethal with its slow movement and bulky stature, as if its parents have taken it to Golden Corral a few too many times that week. However, this creature does not rely on speed and agility to take down its foes, because brewing in this creature's thorax is the finest culmination and vintage of Taco Bell Baja Blast and battery fluid, perfect for melting the flesh right off an unsuspecting helldiver at a moment's notice. These relentless fucks with their corrosive secretions are a formidable threat. And to make matters worse, these sons of bitches also got aimbot and are on some real bullshit. But if you believed that's where their BS stops, you would be mistaken, because these enemies are but an adolescent version of the whole, with adult bile spewers possessing the ability to turn their vomit into a full-blown mortar barrage. It's always something new with these fuckers. But should a helldiver have the will to survive their encounter with a bile spewer, it is advised through field studies to use armor-piercing weapons such as the railgun. And out of all the aforementioned Terminids detailed before, this pale in comparison in all aspects to that which is the bile titan, otherwise known by its scientific name, that big motherfucker over there. Never should one want to be caught in the shadow of a bile titan, as they stand above all others in sheer size and lethality, able to crush helldivers with a single step. Additionally, despite being slow in movement, a bile titan is able to cover great distance due to having an impeccable stride, meaning unless you're Forrest Gump, you ain't outrunning this SOB. But should you miraculously manage to get any sort of distance away from a pursuing bile titan, these MFers are also on the same BS and diet as their smaller, chubbier brethren, the bile spewers, and will douse you in their green cream in quantities the likes of which no hub star has ever seen. However, despite their menacing appearance and indomitable fortitude, the bile titan has one crippling weakness not many would have the ability to exploit. A jaw so brittle that it could easily be considered to be made completely out of fiberglass, because a single precision shot with a railgun can be enough to drop this enemy, but you will only be able to execute this just after it's finished Baja blasting your teammates into oblivion. However, a Terminid does not need to be large and armored to be lethal, and this deceiving little fuck is precisely that. This is the Hunter. Small and fragile at first glance, one could easily overlook this enemy as nothing to worry about. But an oversight such as this can quickly evolve into a helldiver's fatal mistake, because hunters are among the most relentless with their pursuits, attacking with the power of a fifth grader that just shotgunned a BFC can of monster. And while one hunter can only hit with the power of a wet napkin, should several hunters surround you, that moist discomfort will certainly promote to you becoming throat goat of whatever planet you decided to underestimate this enemy on. Put more delicately, hunters will take you to Pound Town. And as if all that fuckery wasn't enough, hunters found in more difficult missions also have the ability to apply bile to their victims, slowing them down and preventing any means for escape. The positive news is that these little bitches have the structural integrity of a Nature Valley bar, requiring only a few well-placed freedom pews to convert them into democracy fertilizer. Tag a friend you saw get bukkakied by hunters.